Alright, you guys are in for a real treat. I'm going to show you how to skin an animal just using a regular old pocket knife. This is just a regular old Barlow knife, 2-blade. I feel like everybody's trying to sell you something, everybody's trying to sell you the latest greatest knife, it works wonders, blah blah blah. Well, the fact of the matter is, you can take a regular old pocket knife like this one and skin an animal. It's more about skill and having a good edge than anything. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. First we want to kind of cut around the feet here. Get those wrung out pretty good. Just using 2 nails to hold the foot in place there. There we go. Skin's folded back a little bit. I'm turning back around this way. We go ahead, make our incision, and I want to get straight up to the tail here. You can see that. Straight up to the tail, flip them back around. And it's actually been a few years since I've skinned a muskrat. I haven't had much time. Come into it. You know, these first cuts are probably the most important. Coming right up to the tail, just like that. You gotta slide it. Yep. Not much to it. Then we want to come in, kind of push through carefully. Let me just try to. You know, the key to skinning is to try to use your knife as little as possible. But we're going to take a little piece of tail with that. Try to do the same for the other side. Just get my finger in there. And I'm taking my time so I don't hurt myself. Got a little piece of tail on that. Good to go. Yep. Now you can honestly, with the muskrat, just kind of start pulling it down a little bit. Set my knife there. And muskrats are going to have some meat left on them after the skinning is done, which is pretty normal. Once you have your pelt free, you can kind of work it down. I don't like to tug on it too much because you know, muskrats are pretty fragile skeletally. But you can see I'm just slowly working the pelt down. You know, some of this membrane, see, watch this knife. See? Just rolls it right off. Like I said, with muskrats, you really don't need to use your knife a whole lot. Possibly in another video I'll do a fox or something like that. Something a little bit trickier. Alright. We're just going to keep pulling. Another thing too is we want to go ahead and nip these feet. That's going to be our next step. So we want to go ahead, nip these front feet off. I just used 10 snips. You can even add the feet to your, I kind of come back here to the wrist. You can add the feet to the bait pile for coyotes, fox, things like that. Let's go ahead, we're going to keep working them down. We're going to be very careful. See, I nicked the gut cavity there, so we got a little bit of entrails wanting to come out. That's why I don't want to yank on it too hard. I want to keep them all intact there. Yeah, just want to keep it all together. You can see that thin membrane of meat. That's called the saddle. We're going ahead, we're getting the front legs out here. Just push your thumb right in and go ahead and pop that through just like that. Yep. Get your finger in there just like that. Alright, now we're coming down to the head here. You really want to take your time. You can squeeze to separate as much as possible. Okay, use our knife a little bit. We're getting to the ear there. Another ear right here. You can just see the nub. We're really taking our time. Okay, so we're getting to the eyes here. I can tell. Backside looks good here. Just kind of coming into it lightly. You know, having a good sharp knife, I mean, you just barely have to glide. There's going to be a lot of meat left on the face here just because I'm being careful. So the next fun part is, because you have this old pocket knife, you have a secondary blade here you could do more detailed work with. For around the face, the eyes. And again, we're just taking our time, we're digging in a little bit. We really want to take our time at this point and do a good job, because getting these animals is hard work. And if you're going to use the fur, or you're going to sell the fur, you want to try to keep everything as intact as possible. And truth be told, I've never skinned an animal with a pocket knife before, but I've known it to be possible. Obviously, I mean, we're almost through with this, so a little bit of cheek going on here. And it's really at this point I like to seriously take my time and not rush, because you want to try to get every bit of the face. Even though you don't use the face, it's good to practice. Get as much as you can off these guys, off of any animal. Just keep practicing. I'm just giving a little downward pressure here. The bottom lip has come off. Getting to the nose, you can feel it. So I'm going to dig into the nose a little bit. Just kind of work my way around, taking my time. And there you go. That is your perfectly skinned muskrat. And a beautiful pelt. Here to tell you, that's a beautiful pelt. going to turn out nice. There you go, there's the face. You got your face, the whiskers, the nose, the eyes. Nothing but a pocket knife. Keep that in mind for next time if somebody tells you you need really fancy equipment. Mostly all you need is just time, patience, a good sharp blade, usually something on the smaller side. Even with fox and coyotes, smaller knife really helps because oftentimes the hide is really fused with the meat. Having a good sharp small knife helps you take your time. But yeah, nothing fancy. I think like a $20 barley knife I've had for a while. There's your skinned muskrat. Good to go.